RAF Woodbridge. Thinking an aircraft might have crashed or have been forced down, they call for permission to go outside the gate to investigate. The on-duty flight chief responded and allowed 3 patrolmen to proceed on foot. The individuals reported seeing a strange glowing object in the forest. The object was described as being metallic in appearance and triangular in shape, approximately 2 to 3 meters across the base and approximately 2 meters high. It illuminated the entire forest with a white light. The object itself has a pulsating red light on top and back and blue lights underneath it. The object was hovering on or legs. As the police approached the object, it maneuvered through the trees and disappeared. The next day, 3 depressions, 1 1/2 feet deep and 7 inches in diameter, were found where the object had been sighted on the ground. The following night, December 29th, the area was checked for radiation. Beta, gamma readings of 0.1 reams were recorded, and peak reading in the 3 depressions and near the center of the triangle formed by the depressions. A nearby tree had moderate readings, and on the side of the tree toward the depressions. Later in the night, a red sunlight was seen through the trees again. It moved about and pulsated. At one point, it appeared to throw off glowing particles and then broke into 5 separate white objects and then disappeared. Immediately thereafter, 3 star-like objects were noticed in the sky, 2 objects to the north and 1 to the south, all of which were about 10 degrees off the horizon. The objects moved rapidly in sharp angular movement and displayed red, green, and blue lights. The objects to the north appeared to be elliptical throughout an 8 to 12 power lens. Then they turned to full circles. The objects to the north remained in the sky for an hour or more. The objects to the south remained visible for 2 to 3 hours and beamed down a stream of light from time to time. Numerous individuals, including the undersigned, witnessed the activities listed in paragraphs 2 and 3. Charles L. Halt, Lieutenant Colonel, U.S. Air Force, Deputy Base Commander. And a very interesting side note to this is the fact that the U.S. Air Force disavowed that there was any information, physical evidence, tape recordings, a report of any kind. And we have in our possession both a tape recording from a news report. We have transcription of tapes taken actually at the scene with Deputy Base Commander Halt present, and 3 to 5 different witnesses, all of whom were at the site taking the readings and the photographs that the U.S. Air Force claim do not exist.
Thank you, Jody. That's another instance where the Air Force denies, and discredits people who come up with information. That's probably one of the big reasons that people are reluctant to give information on UFOs, alien sightings, anything like that. What we are trying to do is provide a clearinghouse for all of the information that is available. We want you to send us any information you may have, and we will tell you how to do that later.
In approximately 1948, the Air Force headed up Operation Blue Book. And I'd like right now to ask Mr. Wilson if he could possibly tell us something about that.
As far as we can tell, Project Blue Book was a part of a disinformation program that evolved after the United States discovered the Air Force officer bodies in with the alien bodies in the Roswell crash. The grudge part of it, the name grudge, was something that apparently evolved with General Hoyt Vandenberg, who wasn't particularly pleased with that top-secret estimate of the situation, which was prepared by Project Sign in August 1948. In December 48, Sign was redesignated as Project Grudge, primarily because of Hoyt's displeasure with the report. It wasn't convenient, it was a problem, and he wanted to have the material stop. So the answer is to create a publicly perceived version of an Air Force project with several officers involved, one of them being Captain Edward Ruppelt, in order to give the appearance to the public that the Air Force was looking into the matter. And at the end of that, to discredit the UFOs and close the project, which they apparently told the public that they were going to do in 1969. All during this process, the top reports, the really interesting material, the really gruesome stuff about some of the abductions and crashes that they were finding was bypassed, went bypass Project Blue Book and went into secret Central Intelligence Agency and National Security Agency files. The Blue Book ended up with the unimportant stuff off the top, which they could easily convert and explain away as weather balloons and other atmospheric phenomena.
Of late, it seems, there are more sightings, more people saying that they've seen flying saucers, UFOs. It's just kind of snowballed to the point where they can't keep it secret any longer?
That's right. They not only cannot keep that secret, but there are military secrets and government secrets seems to be very fleeting things. And it was once said that where 4 people gather together to conspire, 3 are fools and 1 is a government agent.
Briefly describe the cloak of secrecy surrounding the information.
You have to understand that here we were just coming out of a war, and here we had an alien crash, and alien beings, and dead humans, and a real big problem. An alien craft and alien beings is a big culture shock. They were worried about a lot of people going crazy. And there was one early test, which is when Orson Welles did his War of the Worlds thing, his Mars thing on the radio. He was asked to do that by the government. So they still felt that that was a common mindset, and they couldn't tell people what was going on. It was to know the truth would destroy religions, upset economic systems. In general, they perceived it to cause general havoc about the whole thing. Part of the thing that they're doing now is they're trying to